It's the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. We move away from Monaco to the double header at the Berlin Tempelhof Airport. It's Saturday, it's time for the first part of qualifying. Green lights on and the cars are on the circuit. Let's join Megan Birch up in commentary.
Hello, and welcome to Formula E. I know I'm not the usual person for doing this, visual race engineer. Ideal qualifying strategy is out, prep, push, push. I would agree, as far as I know about the sport. Group A has just begun with 11 minutes left, and if I don't sound as energetic as I usually do, it's because I have been ill, and not like a simple cold type of ill. It has been excruciating, and I've had to get 2 assessments in during that time, so yay. Right, so now we're looking at Evans going round the track. No one has really set a lap time right now, as they've only just come out. Everyone seems to be behaving themselves as much as they can anyway.
They seem to be warming up the tyres, don't they?
They do seem to be warming up the tyres. That's Dad in the background, Ian Birch. Filling in occasionally. He's basically my co-com for this, which is unusual. And I have just realised my drink is all the way across the room. I shall quickly grab that. Right now we're looking, I think that was their engineering version. So, thank you. My drink. And the mug that Joshua got me. Reminds me very much of Captain Jamie. Right, so Group A has 9.5 minutes left to go, and they all seem to be...
They seem really tense, don't they?
Yeah, they're...
Mahinda especially.
Ericsson sets a fastest time first, to be followed by the rest. Vern now sets the fastest time with a 1:03.775. I feel like also if I mess up anyone's like names on this, then bear in mind I do this like once, maybe twice a year. I'm not used to saying anything. Right, so quite slow around that corner for I think Ericsson. I'm guessing it's Ericsson. He's first on the grid first. So he did get a purple sector 2, but that's quickly overtaken by Evans having a purple sector 2. Ball is there. I was right, it was Ericsson. I'm very happy with that. I'm getting better. Verline. See, and I know how to spell. I know how to say Verline's name. I remember when he crashed once and went on the side. I don't know why, but that's one of my like predominant memories of when I was younger with F1, just the Verline being on the side.
Bernard Strack just moved up to 6th. So from the top, it's the Costa, Evans, Dennis, Ericsson, and then King's just moved up into 5th. You see the top 4 go to the duels, which is like the quarter-final. And then after that, there's they battled it down until there's just a final lot on the circuit to see who gets pole, second, and so on.
Yeah. I had a book. I had a little book. A little green book, and I don't know where I left it. This isn't just me rambling, it's what I use right now. I have no idea.
Bit of history with that aircraft was actually used at Tempelhof for the Berlin airlift back in about, what was it, 1946, 7?
Some people are heading into the pits, which I find a unique decision, given they've only just got out there. Couldn't even wait until exactly 6 minutes to hit. Just 7 minutes left, and right into the pit lane. I know some F1 drivers who like to do that. All of them, basically. Last Grand Prix. Right, so into the pits for Da Costa, Evans, Dennis and Verline. We're on board with Vern right now. Very slow into that next sector. Very tight, I would say. Probably worried about crashing, or we're always worried about crashing. So, also oversteering seems to be a worry, I think, with this. Heading into the pit lane.
John Eric Verne, known as Jev when he was in Formula One. And so Montoya tops with King in second place, Deruvula and Da Costa. You know, all the usual.
A lot of them seem to be in F1, I have noticed. Like before they were in Formula E, it's like they just constantly swap. It's like, oh, you should go here, you should go there. Everyone's happy. Here is a replay of Montoya? Oh no, Voltara. I'm still learning the names. I feel like people are gonna try and come at me for that. Just like, it's his name. Just like, I don't know. Right. Do a quick mid-session run through. Mortara is currently fastest with a 102.887. King is second with a 102.970. Deruvula, is that? Is third with a 103.001. Oh, so close to having like exactly on the number. Da Costa is currently fourth with a 103.092. And then out of the top four positions right now is currently Ericsson, Vern, Evans, Venstress?
Very good.
Yes, got it.
That's how I would pronounce it.
Verline and Tixon. See, I think I'm learning.
It's really strange to see Jake Dennis down there. You know, I don't understand what he's up to. There's a little wobble on the rear wheel of that car. That's usually caused at this track by the fact that it's basically a hard concrete surface.
Yeah, it looks all concrete.
And this was the original Berlin, made by the Germans during the war. This place served itself well. It was an airport until about 20 years ago, and it's been used by a lot of things after that. So this Group A, it has picked up a few strange things. You know, some of the big names like Vern and Dennis. I'm expecting this last run to actually push, aren't you, Meg?
I should certainly hope so, otherwise none of them are actually going to get in. I have to take a screenshot of the standings after Sir Joshua Hamilton. It being an airport does actually explain why I feel like they either have, I can't tell whether they have too much grip or too little grip. It's I want to say it's, I can't decide between those two. I think they have too much grip. I think
the main thing is
so
that if you watch the wheels of the cars, it's the bumpiest surface they actually ever race on in this series.
Yeah, it looks it. It doesn't exactly look like a track. I mean, it's interesting, but it doesn't look like a track because of how the surface of the actual track itself looks. So it doesn't look like it. Can't imagine it would feel like that to drive either. Right, so Verline has moved up into top position, overtaking Mortara. On board with Verline now as he makes his way across the line. On board with Vern now, and now Tictum. Tictum is...
Evans and Dennis don't seem to be improving at the moment. What is it on the list, Meg?
They both are not improving. They have a 103.155 and a 103.224. Neither of them are improving at all. And I have seen both of them race before, so I actually do know what they are like with racing. And last time I watched them race, they were quite high up. And I get this is qualifying, but last time I saw them qualifying, they were both fighting for position, and now it's like they've swapped. Like, oh, I'm not fast anymore. But they are, and they weren't before. It's like they've done a complete 180 of who's fast and who's not, which is interesting. It's refreshing, but I would say concerning. So King has maintained 4th position. Well, tried to continue after I think Deruvla setting a fastest lap on board with Vern right now. Normal sector 1 for Vern. I can't see Vern improving.
So Group A nearly out of time.
Did I just say Vern would be fastest sector 1? I mean, it's not showing that on the TV pictures at all. Who is faster in this?
Well, Vern is gone 2/10. He's only 2/10 down now. So he's starting to think. I think this last lap could actually be mixed everything up. There's Vern gone second. I'm expecting
Vern only has 5
Evans and
thousandths.
Dennis to actually do something.
Vern only has 5 thousandths to Verline as the flag runs out for Group A, and they all cross the checkered flag.
Evans has missed out.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in 6th. He's finished in 6th.
Right, so
And Jake Dennis
The
is
finish.
11th.
hold on.
So the 4 that go through to the duels, the next round, like the quarters, is Montara, Verline, Vern, John Eric Vern, Jev, and Jeruvilla.
Right, hold on. I'm just going to take a photo of this. Right, so first for through to the jewels. As I said,
Mahindra are top of the trial with Montara.
okay,
There is some surprises there, Meg, of who's not actually got through.
yeah, keep talking.
You know, Jake Dennis, he was the champion last year, wasn't he? And you know, there must be some reason that he's 11th today. Did he actually get out there?
I'm not sure. It's on advert. What do I press? Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't told what to press when it was on advert. So thank you for informing me of that. Right, as I was saying, Mortara is through with fastest lap of a 102.619. Verline second with a 102.771. Vern with a 102. Thankfully, I took a screenshot. I mean, a picture. Yeah, that's what it's called. With a 102.776. And then Jeruvilla was a 102.801. And then those who did not make it through to the duel are DaCosta, Evans, Tictum, King, Fenestras, Ericsson, and Dennis. Next up is Group B.
you would have expected there for definitely 3 of them to actually have got through. You know, maybe it's this circuit. Maybe they don't like the lack of grip.
Maybe. So it doesn't have a lot of grip. I knew it was one of them.
It's bumpy. It's you slide. I've always liked Tempelhof. It's always been.
It seems like a track that is difficult.
It's a bit like Monaco. It's so different for them that it can cause problems.
Right. Going over to TNT and the other commentators.
Why is Jake Dennis so low?
Right. I don't know. I don't know why it isn't up there, though.
Hello, everyone. I've just interrupted for a split second to find out why there was no audio coming through on the bus mixer side of things. So, sorry about that. No, just there's no trackside audio coming through for some reason on said new bus mixer. So that brilliant plan I had. Oh, hang on.
So the green
There you go.
flies
Let's
We
listen to
get
them now.
Group B qualifying underway, another 12-minute session. And we saw a bit of a divergence in strategy for Mahindra.
Well, anyway, green light's on. I'll hand you back over to Megan. I figured out.
Where's my green book? So if I don't want anyone else to talk, I press that.
Yeah, just turn it down.
Okay. Good to know. I still can't hear them. I still can't hear them. Obviously Joshua can. Okay, now I can hear them a little bit. Right, Group B. In Group B, there is Cassidy, Roland, Gunther, Van Dorn, Hughes, Nato, Sete Camera, Degrassi, Barnard, Aaron, and Van der Linde.
Yep, Kelvin van der Linde, and I've figured out the problem. Maybe it would help if the track noise was actually working, and
Wings in that race.
yeah, excellent. So now you can actually all hear what's happening out there on the circuit. Megan, back to you.
Well, now that I actually have my green book with me.
Yes, and Megan, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
That new bus mix I plugged in enables you to have TNT audio.
Does it?
Yeah, so if you turn up the second knob to the centre, they will all hear the Tom Brooks interviews. So if you want to go to battle screen at any point and put them on, especially when the 10-minute break's coming up, you can.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to hear them. But the audio will.
Okay.
So did everyone follow that? I didn't.
Right.
This first lap is always just warming up the tyres. The good thing about electric vehicles is that as soon as you press the accelerator, you go. That's why there's no warm-up lap in the usual races. So unlike every other type of motorsport that has a warm-up lap to warm the tyres up. So when the first lap is like wasted.
It is. Because you're just trying your best to make sure that the tyres are good enough for the next lap.
Cassidy and Van Dorn. Nato's been in it a very long time now. Gunther has also. It's a totally different way of driving a race car, an open top. This, you've got to start thinking a bit. They're doing this a bit in British touring cars, where they have certain amounts of boost that they can use, and IndyCar have it as well. But this is the most technical. I think this is actually you can't just go flat out.
No.
You've got one set of tyres, unless you have a puncher, right? You also you also can't really you just go flat out because you've got to have the right energy at the end of the race.
Van Dorn takes third place, and Sete Camera immediately takes that from him.
The good thing also is that they, for people that are first time listening or first time watching, I've watched this for a long time, but so it's the first time I've commentated on it. Is that when he accelerates, he uses energy, but when he brakes, he recovers energy, and so it can fluctuate. And what's happened on this generation of cars? In the first generation of cars, we used to have 2 cars. And they
Bernard
used
is
to have
still
to
in the pits.
jump out and jump into another one halfway through. But this generation of cars has a regen system that is enabled them and has improved so much over the years that they can now do the full race. So, Group B, Cassidy leads at the moment. What's the time, Megan? 1:02?
Cassidy leads with a 102.893, with Gunther in second with a 102.913. That immediately changes, though, once Degrassi crosses the line, since Cassidy and Gunther are both in the pits. Little glitch on the TV screen there, but Degrassi goes in top with a 102.831, with obviously Cassidy and Gunther in the pits. And they have a 102.893 and a 102.913. Sete Camera has a 103.042. Obviously, also in the pits are Van Dorn and NATO. Probably saying his name wrong too, to be honest. And I'm saying Van Dorn's name right. It was an effort.
I think they should have pit stops in this.
They should.
Yeah, they could. I mean,
More
obviously,
often than they do.
as we've just seen, they can
Someone's made contact
change
with
the
barrier.
tyres for a new set
Someone's-
to make a better run, but
someone's
that's going to
grazed
take
the barrier.
time. You only got 12 minutes.
Someone's grazed a barrier.
Yeah, I noticed a bit of the side
that?
advertisements things.
Roland's coming to the
But
pits, I think,
that's the like in all racing. That getting as close you can to the barrier to get to the next apex is the right thing. I mean, in last week's was it Formula One? It was Formula One, where Lewis made a mistake at 12, and by the time he got to 2 on, right, he was
Board
totally in the
Barnard.
wrong position, and he missed his apex completely, and that's how precise it is.
On board with Barnard currently. I mean, yeah, Max literally hit a cone. Or bollard, whatever it's called. On board with Barnard right now. Little bit of a wobble there with the wheel. I don't know what exit that was on for virtual race. Expected lap time needed to reach for Jules is a 102.7. Degrassi is so close to that number, but not quite there. They all need to go out on another lap, I would say, though not helpful when Degrassi, Hughes, Sete Camera, Van der Linde, I think it is, Roland
Van der Linde.
and Aaron. Yeah, that. Van der Linde. They're all in the pit lane. So the camera comes out of the pit lanes now, as well as, I think that was Gunther. Here's a replay. Don't know who of, because it does not
There's
tell
the
me.
McLaren gone out, so that was the one that touched the wall
Looking at Ian James, team principal there.
of McLaren. McLaren was Mercedes last year, wasn't it? They took over the entire team, haven't they?
I would not know. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I believe that is true. Mercedes pulled out,
Jaguar.
and I'm sure that McLaren took over the entire team. They seem to be in everything. They're Indy 500 coming up. They'll be in that. They're in IndyCar as well. They're in the new F1 Academy for the ladies. And
Here's a replay quick, just to interrupt you. That was Sete Camera touching the wall, so he's the one who touched the wall. Don't know what turn that was into, though it seemed quite a wide corner. I'm surprised he actually touched the wall there.
I love the shape of these cars. This generation of car, it's so aerodynamic. It's Adrian Newey would look at this and think, well, I know how I can improve it, but it still is a good looking car.
It is. Group B have 2.5 minutes left on the clock right now, and Degrassi is still with a 102.831, which is a tenth behind what the expected time is needed for going into the next session, which is concerning why they're not all meeting it, though I get that the track is not exactly perfect. For gaining speed and not crashing into the walls, as Sete Cameron did slightly. Did not crash fully, though.
By the look of it, is any of them going to be able to go into the group?
Little hit on the wall there for Gunther, and I'm not sure. None of them seem to be improving that much. Van Dorn, though, is only 6 thousandths off from Degrassi, so I'm guessing he's the only one that seems to improve moderately.
Yeah, Megan, just interrupting as well. It's a different layout that they've got here this season compared to last. So the time's in a 102.8, similar to what we saw yesterday, but there's a year's worth of dust out there on the circuit. So they aren't yet cleaning it up. And as I think Dad was saying earlier on, it's a concrete surface here at Tempelhof. So it's been around since the 1940s as well. It was always part of the Berlin airlift. So it's an incredibly abrasive circuit, and that's why we're seeing drivers locking up, going wide, sliding around, and not really.
Gunther doing so.
Yeah, that's at the last corner as well, just brushing against the wall. He did touch the wall. I thought when I came in, I saw him touch that wall. Anyway, I'll hand back to Dad.
Yeah, the lack of grip is obviously causing quite a few of them a lot of problems.
Vanderlin's on a fast lap.
But I can't remember ever watching this and seeing the second group not actually meeting the four of the third.
Vanderlin makes it into third position with a 102.870, which is good, but no one's still meeting that time. No one's meeting the expected time of what the virtual engineer said.
It always looks as well that there's not that many actually attending the event, but it's because it's such a massive area.
It is.
I think the only one that's like this is New York, isn't it? Where it's around the Dockland area of New York, and so that's really spread out as well.
Right. So the checkered flag is out now for Group B's session. Right, Van Dorn is currently going fastest, though we still have still have two people left to cross the line. That's Degrassi and Gunther. Gunther goes top with a 102.615. And that is everyone crossed the line now.
So just like in the first group, the final lap is, well, just like in Formula One, the final lap actually has decided who goes through. And we have actually got, is it one or two that's gone through?
Yeah, I need to read this out before it disappears. So Degrassi in first with a 102.615, Gunther in second with a 102.713, Van Dorn in third with a 102.717, Sete Camera in fourth with a 102.761. They all were able to meet that 7 predicted time. Cassidy in fifth, Vanderlyn in sixth, Barnard in 7th, Roland in 8th, Hughes in 9th, Aaron in 10th, and NATO is in 11th.
NATO.
NATO. Do you know, you've waited...
Oh, it can be both.
You've waited 2 sessions.
It can be both. We say NATO, sometimes it's NATO.
NATO.
Yeah, so basically the top 4 from each group now go forward. We're into the duels now, which means it's 2 drivers versus each other. We have the quarterfinals going through as well, so that's 8 drivers versus each other. Then the semi-finals, 2 groups with 4 drivers as well. Then the final with 2 drivers battling out for the Julius Baer pole position, of course, going through. And when we come back, there'll be about a 10-minute break now, so you can throw over to TNT when they come back, Megan.
Okay.
If you remember how, just click the battle screen and then turn up the second fader. Yeah, on the other bus mixer.
But I can still be heard. So I just have to stay silent. That is unnerving. What if I sneeze? Right, so that was an interesting session.
Sorry, she just said, what if I sneeze? You can just put your microphone above your head.
True. Right, so the next session shall be coming on soon. Well, the break for the next session will be coming on soon. It has been an intriguing couple of sessions for Group A and Group B. I've noticed all of them seem to be struggling with the timings and only really getting any fast laps near the end of a session. Obviously in Group B we had a couple of touches of the wall. We didn't have that in Group A. At least I don't think we did. So that is interesting that they were touching the wall more in Group B. They obviously did not have as good of a grip as they were hoping for. Gunther was one of those people who touched the wall, and look how that turned out. I've already got the information of who is first up on the duels, and it would be Vern versus Verline. That will be an interesting duel to watch. The number 25 and the number 94. And there are my people, I am still ill, so this is why there is not as much energy in this commentary, because I
hadn't
still
noticed.
ill. Yeah, well,
Are you sure are you sure this isn't your normal rate?
Very sure. You can also, I think, hear it in my voice. Like, certainly see it on my hands.
Basketball there being played on the play area.
As well as ping pong.
Very much an adult play area, this.
Seems a fun play.
And now it's a lovely view of Berlin, the TV tower in the background.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's where that is. I've always wondered where that building was. Right. Do I throw over now?
Yeah.
I'm going to just... talking about... just while I get confirmation that I throw over. That is touching the wall slightly. That was set a camera, I'm pretty sure. Just... okay, well, surprisingly Joshua's not answered yet. So, he said I should throw over, so I shall throw over.
They're in contention.
Oh, hold on. There he is. So, do I turn this off?
Jake Dennis, I mean, both of the Andrettis really had a bit of a nightmare, didn't they?
I would say Mitch Evans is one thing, Cassidy as well, not quite in the top four, but you're right with the Andrettis because they are so far down the pit lane at the exit, but they're right on the last row. Both of them in Group A, and also Norman Nato in Group B. I saw Norman just walking down before we came on air, and his face was down, the head, it was just a what on earth is going on, question mark.
Well, actually, we can hear from Jake Dennis, actually, because he's been speaking to Nicky.
Jake Dennis, obviously a bit of a disappointing quali lap there. What happened?
Nothing really. It's same old stuff, just driving a car which just isn't quick enough. You know, we're being made to look like absolute laughing stocks right now, and I think it's like my third time starting in the last 2-3 rows, and we're currently world champions, and we're being made to look like absolute rookies. You know, it's been out-qualified by all the rookies, and I haven't forgot how to drive overnight. So, yeah, a lot of work to do for the Andretti team. Hopefully Norman can do something. He's running something quite a bit different to me, so hopefully he can go out there and get top 10. But yeah, for me right now, it's shambles. So, yeah.
All right, well, good luck for clawing it back in the race. Thanks for talking to us, Jake Dennis.
Yeah, clearly frustrated and angry, actually, Jake Dennis there. You've been in that seat as a team principal, having to control your drivers. What do you kind of make of that situation there?
Well, first thing that was interesting for me, he said that, and that was done after he had went out in Group A, but Norman Nato, who he mentioned, had a different setup completely. So they're really rolling the dice. They're trying anything at this moment in time, but it didn't work for Nato either. No. So it's something fundamental. For me, you've always then got to go back to basics. Get everybody calmed down. Yeah. Because frustration, in sport, doesn't help anybody. No. And if you get them calmed down and then go to the basic principles and work from there. But it's a very complex car, and it's a very, very tight grid. You saw it was hundredths of a second between getting into the next group stages or not. And so from that point of view, if you're slightly off, then you just end up in the back row of the grid, and that's where they are at the moment. Yeah. But frustration's definitely keeping in.
Definitely. Well, we had some shocks in Group B as well, and I think Karun's got some information on that.
Yeah, thank you, JJ. Just looking at the Jaguars as well, because you guys talked about Dennis. Obviously, we've got Roland, another championship contender who didn't make it. But neither Jaguar got through as well. And this was Nick Cassidy. He sounded pretty frustrated on the radio. Watch him here into 6-7, watching his hands. There's just a lot of movement. It doesn't seem to have the grip and the confidence to attack the circuit at all. Here, up into the left-hander of 9. Wines, look at the amount of steering lock. That's not so unusual. But he doesn't run the car up against the wall like we've seen some other people. Again, on the run into the final corner, watch here, bit of movement on the way in, and they're just seesawing at the wheel all the way around that first part. Then he goes into an understeer, then he touches the curb, then he goes to an oversteer. He's just got a lack of grip there, and therefore a lack of confidence to attack the circuit. So a lot of frustration there for Jaguar as well. Back to you.
Yeah, interesting stuff there from Karun, Alan. What did you kind of make about what he was talking about there? I saw you kind of referencing...
Well, yesterday was very warm. Yeah. This morning the sun was coming out. Now it's very overcast, and to be honest, I wish I'd brought my jacket. Yeah. And so it's cold. You've got a situation, I think, where now the actual temperature is having an impact, and for the cars that can generate tyre temperature, that put load into the tyre, also drivers as well, it allows them to come to the top because they make the tyre work. However, for the ones that maybe are more conservative in that area, and if it was a warmer condition would be more competitive, they seem to be struggling a little bit. But it just looked like there on the onboard, as Karun was mentioning, the car wasn't hooked up for him. He wasn't actually in control of it. He was sliding around with it, and that's not where you want to be.
No, it's not. Quick word on De Grassi, because he's had such a frustrating year, and I think I actually saw him smile for the first time this season. So, yeah, quick word on him.
Well, I've known Lucas for many, many years. He was our driver for 4 years, and I have to say, he's always a fighter. He never, ever gives up. That was the one thing I loved about Lucas, was you knew you were always going to get a fight, and if he had a sniff of something, he was going to take it.
Yeah, well, it's great to see a smile on his face, but we can head out now to the quarterfinals. Alan, off you go. Get back in that commentary booth. We need to go and see what's going to happen in...
Right. Turned them off, and I hope I am still speaking, to be honest. Right. Right. So the duels are about to begin for the Berlin E-Prix. And the first set of duels will take place between Vern and Verline. A lot of these. So they are just getting ready to come out onto the track now. Getting a nice view of Berlin there. Green flag, and they are about to head out. Oh, this is a replay apparently for some reason of what once was in this race. Right.
The highlights of the qualifying there.
Yeah.
Seeing John Eric Verne and Ericsson's little touches of the wall. Montara with his Miranda. They all look very tense. I wonder if it,
They do.
you know, we've just been told that earlier in the commentators section, the presenters section, about the temperature today is so different from yesterday. There's Mitch Evans there shaking his head because he never got through, did he?
No, he did not get through. He was very far down the order today, which is very surprising, I would say. Currently checking.
So this is the duels where two of them compete and only one of them goes through.
Yes.
The duels is order is decided, I believe, by their positioning in the first rounds.
It is decided by that, and then the next lot after this set of duels, well, this combination of duels is set by what happens in this.
Every motorsport has to have its own unique thing, and I do believe that this system, which is based on football, well, yeah, because you've got you've got quarterfinals, semi-finals, and final, haven't you?
Yes.
And the way
I've just got the duels up.
I think this must be unique in top class motorsport, the way they've done this. But
Yes.
the duels, I don't know any other sector of motorsport where two drivers compete for one place in the next round.
Usually it's a whole load of them.
That is the famous Reichstag, the German Parliament building that has survived many but it was burnt to the ground at one point, wasn't it?
It was. Okay, so first set of duels is between Verne and Verline. The second set are between Deruvula and Mortara. Third set between Van Dorn and Gunther, and the final set of duels for the quarterfinals is between Sette Camera and Degrassi.
Lucas, as we were also told, he's. I don't think it's that he's never smiles. I think he is just trying to concentrate more.
Honestly, I get that. It's like when I am concentrating or stressed about something, you will not see me smile. You will just see me in this like really like tense state. Though I also start messing with my hands because I get stressed.
You can see by the way they've all got hoodies on, not with the hood up, obviously, but how the difference in temperature between yesterday and today?
It is quite a difference, and it predicted that Verline will come out on top in this duel, which is about to get underway. About to head out onto the track. Vern is currently.
I don't think you can ever rule out Jev. That was close anyway. They're hedging the bets on that one, aren't they?
We'll see. It was quite a hefty vote. Then starts to make his way out onto the track. Ooh, even before it hit the green. I wonder if they're going to say anything about that. Because he was moving. Here's Vern. Wonder if he's made a note of that. I would have. See, he didn't start moving until the green actually came on, but Vern was just like, rolling, rolling, go.
Are you saying that John Eric has jump-started?
Yes. And a bird, coincidentally, on the screen passes the screen, though also there was a bird that passed the window outside the commentary box. So that was...
I don't think it was the same bird.
No, that would be impressive. Teleportation.
Yeah, fastest bird in the world.
Yeah. Have to put a tracker on that, see how fast it gets round.
Do you know the concentration is immense? And no wonder that when they actually do succeed, they all go so mad and jump up and down, and it's the release of all the pressure, isn't it?
It is, and it's got to make sure we're quick with this because they can be very quick round these laps, as we know. A minute.
I don't know about you, but Verline does seem to be taking this warm up a bit faster than John Eric at the moment.
I mean, Vern got a head start, didn't he?
I think this is the duels is exciting because they put one against the other, and this is where the mistakes can happen.
They
You know,
can.
you can ruin your whole weekend in this part.
Vern is 800ths off the mark, now a 10th off the mark to Vern. Though then again, Vern did get a head start by rolling. I'm going to keep saying that because it is true, and I do not agree with that, and I'm surprised no one has actually
See how
noticed
close
that.
Verline got to the wall there.
Ooh,
That is
Verline
brilliant.
is catching though. The gap between them has gone down to 600ths of a second, now 700ths of a second. Vern does a 102.212 and catching. Oh, there is 200ths away from each other and just missed it. The winner of that duel is Jean-Eric Vern.
But Pascal Verline did really well there. He got really close,
But Vern
but
did
not
get a head
good
start.
enough. Well, yeah, that's how they do it, apparently.
No, you don't just roll. He got a head start through rolling.
So you say that John Eric, although he's gone through,
He doesn't
might
deserve
get a penalty for the he was rolling. Did he go over the line though, Meg?
I don't know. Either way, Vern rolled. Mortara is expected to win this next duel against Jeruvela with 83% to that predictor.
Jeruvela in the Magazaka,
Jeruvela
Maserati.
gets a head start.
How come you can't say Maserati? Maserati.
Jeruvela gets the head start on this second duel, and I will maintain the fact that I think Vern had a jump start.
Like Joshua was saying, you just saw a lot of the dust from as the car went over that particular part of the circuit.
Mortara is in the lead with 400ths, 500ths to the gap, and yeah, true. To your comment before, I said that again.
I think Jeruvela is just slightly slower than the previous quarterfinal.
By 10.
And so this looks like Montara is going to... I think Montara is going to win this.
Yeah, Mortara is now 2/10 ahead of
Because they
Jeruvela in the timings, and Jeruvela quickly does a 102.332, and Mortara got ahead by 2/10 of a second.
Well done, Eduardo.
So that predictor was correct. Mortara wins the second duel of the day. So that's Vern and Mortara. They're likely to face each other when it comes to the semi-finals, I would say. A little bit of a corner bump there for Mortara, and I'm not sure whether I play the team radios.
He ran over the apex, definitely. To
How much time did he lose from that? Next up is Van Dorn and Gunther. Gunther is predicted to win. Apparently, if you're on that side of the screen, you're destined to win, but not always.
I would say it's something you do in a race that you try not to do in this sort of thing where you're dueling another person.
Yeah.
Because if you hit the apex, you've got to get as close to the apex as possible anyway for the line. But he actually hit it at an angle, I think, and he jumped it. And that's where you lose the time on the apex. Look, can you see?
Loss of grip there from Gunther. I mean, it's not unusual today that he loses grip, especially into walls.
If you look at the apexes here, they have a white raised bit, and I think he hit that.
Yeah. 10th is between Van Dorn and Gunther, with Van Dorn ahead. So that opening is really good. My throat is starting.
So Stoffel Van Dorn
1/10
seems to
ahead
be
now for Van Dorn. Gunther's catching.
this one is quite close, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Though Van Dorn does a 1.1, well, does a 101.910, with Gunther doing a 100.156.
Is that the first 101s we've had of the day?
Yes.
We didn't have it yesterday in practice 1 or practice 2, so that's the first 101. So the track's getting quicker out there.
Yeah,
But,
they're doing
yeah.
better.
Van Dorn, I think, made a mistake, however, coming through that 9-10 chicane. The rear's going to step out on acceleration. If you just watch, he turns it in. No power steering on these cars, and just gets a little twitch on it as well. You've got me for a few moments because MotoGP's on a break. But yeah, curbs are abrasive here, and so is the track surface. But now into the final, quarter-final 4.
Oh, for some reason I am only seeing... Oh, there we are. It's against Sete Camber and Degrassi. They have never faced each other in a duel, apparently, and we got no predictor votes there, maybe because they've never faced each other. That'll be interesting to see which one of them comes out on top.
The track is improving.
It is. Board with Degrassi.
He took that turn 2 quite wider than normal, didn't he?
He did.
He got a different line completely to what the others did.
Currently is 6 thousandths behind Sete Camera, but now he's rocketed up into being, well, since people like to round in motorsport, let's just say 2 tenths.
And
So
Camera
that went down
improves.
massively. Yeah, Sete Camera got that gap down to 300ths of a second between the two of them.
So taking turn 2 actually gave him a better line in the end, and he's now ahead.
Yeah, by a tenth now of a second, he is ahead. And as he crosses the line, he does a 102.159, but Degrassi is catching him up. Can he beat that time? That is the question of the day. And can he? No, he can't. He only does a 102.388. Sete Camera wins their first ever battle between each other when it comes to
the duels. Of
yeah,
course, all the way back in GP2 days, these two were battling it out together.
Hold on.
Sergio, you're going on to the next round.
So, Sete Camera.
Team Radio Sete Camera.
One of the most experienced, along with Luca Degrassi. Been in this particular formula for a long time.
Right.
I've been released since the beginning, both of them.
Right, so we're going to go to break in a minute. So that was the duels for the quarter-finals. Next up will be the duels for the semi-finals for qualifying. So once they go, I shall turn them off. Taking a long time about it. I don't know whether to be happy about that or sad.
So I think what they'll do is they'll have the review of the session as well. It's weird. I'm sat behind the green screen here, and I can't actually see anything on the monitor. I can have to peel behind it. Here's the full results then from the quarterfinals, and this is who's going through. So Vern goes through to face Mortara. Van Dorn goes through to face Sergio Sete Camara. So that's what the semi-final lineup's going to be.
That'll be an interesting next lineup.
Just working it out, Megan, that means that we've got Verline starting 8th, Jeruvela starting 7th, Degrassi starting 6th, and Gunther starting 5th on the grid.
Yeah.
Now they're going to go to break.
Right, so I shall turn them off now.
Yeah,
it is.
there is a chance of rain coming as well later on today, as that's the centre of Berlin. That's where the odd track used to be. Oh, that's it from Verline.
Shall I turn it up?
Second.
Yeah, it was pretty close, but to be honest, I'm very happy with that qualifying. Missing the whole practice session yesterday due to a technical issue. Only started to work on the car this morning, and obviously practice didn't go bad, so also we didn't want to change too many things, but yeah, definitely I feel like we could have optimized a few things better, and that's why I'm quite happy with P6. Usually I wouldn't be.
Brilliant, thanks very much.
Right, that was from... Who was that from again? I was looking at the screen trying to figure out what to
That was
do. Was that Vern?
that was Pascal Verline.
Verline. It was Verline. And it about to go to break. Hi, again. And it's taking longer than usual, though I've got my hand ready. Surprisingly, they have not gone yet. I am thoroughly surprised by this. I am confused.
Not been a good day for the Brits.
No. Good day for the Penske's. Very good day for the Penske's. They may end up facing each other in the final if they can do well enough. Are they actually having a break? Vern is currently in 7th position in the championship with 65 points and has won 21 duels.
He's also
16
had
poles.
He's also had 3 poles here at Tempelhof.
Or was that the 2018 to 2019 championship? I don't know. It does not give me clear enough information. Team radio, I think, for Vern. Very quickly went off. Are they going out now? Are they going out now? Because it certainly seems like they're going out now.
You keep repeating that, Meg.
Yeah, because I'm so confused. There's meant to be a break. So they're not having a break. They should really have a Kit Kat.
Other things are available.
They are. I've had other things. Other things are very nice. Vern, Team Radio, again.
Okay, so looking more into data, I just had the times. So the T6, you're braking a bit early, same as groups, but that's not where we're looking for the lap time. It's more on the exit.
So I could hear because
just look at that car. Look at the way.
It's a very nice car.
It's so symmetrical, and the wheels are perfectly behind the edge of the front wing. It's just amazing to look at it, and I think they're a really good looking car.
This is an interview with
Max
The weekend so far has been really good. We have good pace and feeling good in the car. So yeah, I think we did a good job for sure. Always the goal is to be up in the very front, but Stoffel did a great lap, and yeah, it was just faster than us. So that's why P5 was the best we could do today.
Podium finish today?
Well, I think a lot is possible. We will see, obviously, a very strategic race again with a lot of energy saving in the first half. So you have to play it very smart. I think really a lot is possible. I'm feeling good in the car. So, yeah, let's see. I hope we can give the fans here a good show.
Absolutely. I'm sure they'll be absolutely loving it. Thanks very much.
Right. So that was Gunter. And are we going to break, or are we doing the next set of duels for the semi-finals? I am so confused because this is unprecedented.
It's not hard, Beg.
It seems unprecedented from what I've been told happens. Here's a replay.
No, there is obviously between the two, the main lot and the quarters. There was a break.
Yeah, but there's no break.
Megan, you have the break in MotoGP and like that you do regularly.
I don't know what to think of this.
It's just a normal break.
Okay, Championship 22 for some reason.
You have to prepare the cars for the next run. Stoffel Dan Don there, look at the concentration on his face.
It's very concentrated.
Yeah, he's blinking a lot, isn't he? He needs his glasses on.
Championship position 18th, 11 points, 4 duels won. That was... I think this is how my brain's going. I'm pretty sure that was set a camera. Right. An interview with Degrassi.
Recently, race by race, understanding how to get the settings right, the setup right. And I was not very optimistic yesterday. We made a lot of changes to the car overnight. We stayed here until 11 p.m. and it paid off. So first duels, my lap was not great in the 350 because honestly I didn't even practice that much of these laps because I thought that 300 was good enough. But the P1 in qualifying in the 300 and then the duels is a good outcome.
Brilliant. Congratulations and keep fighting for the top in the race. Thank you.
Do you know, by the time we actually get to the next set of duels, I think whatever next session that is meant to be on will be on. Like the finals were meant to be on. Looking at Bern right now. And I'm not changing the view camera whenever there's an interview on, because that is way too much work. Still have not gone to break. Yeah, interviews instead. Great. With the quarterfinals done, we're on to the semi-finals with Bern against Mortara and Sete Camera against Van Dorn. I wonder if the two Penske's can actually win both of these, and if they do, that means they will both face each other in the finals, which I think would be very humorous.
They haven't faced each other in a final in 3 years. That should be quite something, since it was Vern and Lotterer back as well. But Vern and Van Dorn have faced each other in a semi-final before, but they haven't done one in a final in a couple of seasons. I don't think since Tokyo, back when they were still in it was South Korea, wasn't it? Anyway, going back to it, that's the first time I've ever known TNT not go to an ad break.
Yeah.
Ever.
They didn't go to an ad break, they just did interviews. And I was literally constantly saying, I'm so confused. Because it's so confusing. Now, Vern, are you actually going to go when it's green? No, you are going to roll before the green. No one else does that, Vern. Just you. It's just you. In the entire finals.
Now I've seen what you mean, Meg. I can see. It's just that he's taking his foot off the brake.
At the wrong time.
And that means he's rolling forward just a little bit because of the incline.
The amount of dust
Slight
they just
incline
kicked
there
up.
at the start.
The amount of dust they just kicked up. Is that
But the point is he didn't go over the white line.
May not have, but still. Moving. Again. Right. So, now that semi-final 2 is underway, let's wait for the thing to come up. Do they have water in carton bottles?
Yes,
dust.
yes. I mean, the one thing you can say about Germany that they lead the rest of the world with is recycling. And yes, they do have water in cartons.
Huh.
Yes. If you buy a German made car, by German law, everything on it must be recyclable.
That's good. Why don't they do that other places? Like, for example, I know in Canada, I'm pretty sure they get their milk in bags.
It must be a strong bag then.
Yeah, it must be. I've often wondered why. It's like, how does that stay open in the fridge? Do they put it in glass bottles? They must put it in glass or something after they get it. Right.
When I was a child, on the railway stations, there used to be a cool milk machine, and it used to come out like a three-sided triangle, and you had to tear the corner off, and everybody loved to get in that when you were a kid.
I bet I would have loved that.
Yeah.
Right.
So the semi-final is underway.
Ooh. Mortara is currently fastest, being, let's round up, 0.09 of a second faster than Vern. Vern keeps hitting the wall slightly, but when they kicked off, there was a lot of dust to it.
Mortara reaches
Mortara
the
wins.
semi-final.
And the Penske's do not face each other.
Yeah, the commentator's curse for Megan.
Was it a good thing for Mortara?
If this carries on, Meg, neither of them will get through.
Right, so Sete Camera versus Van Dorn. Can Van Dorn get through? Probably not at this rate.
Yeah, through. 1/10, mate. Good job, you're in the pot. Well done.
He knows.
I love the constituency of the tyre as well. They have such a slight camber on the actual setup of the suspension. Unlike Formula One, where the camber is quite significant.
Van Dorn is apparently predicted to win this race. Well, this duel, this semi-final duel. So Sete Camera gets the opening start. He gets clean air. And currently Van Dorn is 6 thousandths behind Sete Camera. Very slow into that corner there. I can't name it for the life of me.
Well, we can name it ourselves if you like. Just make a name up. Like when you go around the plain bit, it's Airlift Corner.
Ooh, that's a good name. That's a very good name. And Sete Camera is catching up Van Dorn, who is apparently 5 thousandths ahead now. Which one of you are leading?
Well, it's Van Dorn, isn't it?
Right. Sete Camera does a 102.3031, and Van Dorn is 1/10 ahead of him.
So we're coming up to the final line.
It's a 101.844 for Van Dorn, so he gets through, meaning he is facing
No
Mortara.
commentator's curse.
Woohoo! I didn't completely curse the Penske's. Only half of them. That's a new record. For the lowest amount of people cursed.
Yeah, and when she does Formula One over the years, there were certain drivers that as soon as she mentioned, they used to crash out. How is Brendan? Still sending you Christmas cards?
I'm restraining orders.
Every time she mentioned Brendan Hartley, whatever he did, whack anything, he would crash out. It was amazing.
He would. I once mentioned his name and he got fired 10 hours later.
Oh, I don't think you're responsible for that, but...
I don't know, but it was the first time I had mentioned his name in months. And first time after that, he got fired.
And she also has her favourite drivers. Fernando.
Alonso. My favourite.
Fernando.
I love her favourites.
Fernando sent you a flag, didn't you, for your birthday?
Not this one, the one before.
And last weekend, you commentated on the race,
Did I
and
criticise him? Yes.
with an actual hat, McLaren hat that Lando had actually won. I think it was. I think it was at the. Didn't the hat come from Las Vegas? Yeah.
Coincidentally, it was his birthday race.
Yeah.
That Las Vegas race. So Mortara and Van Dorn are set to face each other in the final duel. Do you know that Carlos Sainz will race on his birthday this year? So, either way, he's racing on his birthday, so let's hope he wins.
Working on your birthday, it's a grown-up thing, Meg.
Let's hope that he wins it. Right, so they
Have
are
we
finally
turned it
going
off?
to adverts.
Are we turning the sound
Yes,
off?
I have turned the sound off. It's the second one. I have turned it way down.
Yes, half a dozen people who are listening are now thinking of a certain song. Way on down.
No, no singing.
I never sang. I just said way on down.
What?
What?
Just double checking that it's off.
So, how excited are we for this final?
I am quite intrigued.
I think it's surprising.
Why?
Well, because of the usual. Every time I watch this, and I have to watch it when I archive it. You know, the main guys never got through.
They didn't. It has to be the
You know,
surface.
Jake Dennis, Matt. The New Zealand lad who's Evans, yeah, Mitch Evans.
Yeah, it was surprising that they didn't get through.
They complained there was too little grip on the surface because of the difference in the temperature from their yesterday when they first got used to the circuit.
Well, it's concrete, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, well, concrete is even worse than tarmac, isn't it? Concrete goes up and down quicker in temperature than tarmac.
It does. Maybe that's why they couldn't keep their grip. Because their tyres didn't know what temperature everything was.
Yeah, like also, I mean, you get used to a certain line going through the circuit, and if you have less grip, it as soon as it hits you on the first time that you go a little wide, and then from then on, you're tense and you're trying to correct so that you get the better line for the end, so that you can actually make something of the lap and improve. But they should have thought of this before they went out, some of them, because some of the things that there's been said, they wouldn't get away with that in normal things. You know, they are just using the coldness of the surface as an excuse, which they're all experienced guys and are usually really brilliant. I think it's just disappointment, don't you?
I agree, because
you build yourself up for these races and for these qualifying things, and you saw the concentration on the backroom staff and the bosses, you know, and you concentrate so much, and you go out and you feel like you've let yourself down, but you haven't. You've done your best, right? All of them improved in the final sector, but quite a few of them either hit the wall. There was 2 hit the wall, then there was also the fact that the sliding and the bumping was the bumpy surface. But nearly all of those have 2 or 3 times been on this surface before.
They have. And right, I'm just gonna turn up.
The Jag drivers
for
did.
The
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
No, it's Vern.
Will be a different kind of race as in Monaco, but for sure we're going to be doing a teamwork, and let's see how it plays out.
What are your expectations for the race, given the fact that it is a new circuit, but it's a track surface that you know very well?
Yeah, it's going to be very tough on the tires, obviously. So it's going to be key, to try and keep them cool as long as possible, and see how we do in this peloton style race.
All right, thanks very much, Shona McMahon.
Do you know, that was one of the mistakes Formula One made. Jev got kicked out of Formula One far too early. You know, when there was drivers that were not as good as him getting seats, mainly I think because they were paid drivers. John Eric I've always thought is quite talented, and you know I love him in sports cars, you know, in Le Mans and things like that. He's a really talented driver. He's one of my favourite drivers, Jev. So, Eduardo Montara and Stoffel van Dorn. The tension builds.
Right. So, we're going to be going to the session soon. They're currently both in the... Well, it says they're both in the fast lane, but they're not. They are currently sitting in their cars, in their garages. Now they're actually moving. So I'll turn this up. There we are.
When you think about Stoffel van Dorn is that he's still a test driver and for the main team in Formula One, as well as doing this.
Okay, so it is the finals now, and Mortara and Van Dorn shall be facing each other. This seems loud. So Mortara and Van Dorn shall be facing each other in this final. Shame it wasn't Vern versus Van Dorn, but you win some and you lose some. And Vern lost some.
Right, yeah, he lost some time, and that's why he never got through. I think this is a good setup. Obviously, everybody thinks that Stoffel is going to win. There was a nice thing at Formula One last weekend that either his former father-in-law or father-in-law, who was Gilles de Ferran, and they did some nice tributes to Gilles de Ferran. Great IndyCar driver, great driver of a lot of circuits.
Mortara makes
in a lot
his
of different
way
categories
out onto the track now, as Van Dorn waits for his turn. Van Dorn now also makes his way out onto the track for the final of the duels. It's quite a bumpy circuit, so I am not surprised. Right. I can hear them talking. Right, we're looking at, like, is this like the engineering people? Yeah, the engineering people. It's quite a bright day outside.
No, it's just commentators that are just so transfixed they can't say anything. Of course it's the engineering.
I get that sometimes. I like now, I don't know what to say because they have not given me my
First
graphics.
time in a life.
I didn't have my graphics.
Always blaming something else.
Do
Meg.
I? Right, so Mortara made his way out first, so he should be setting his first sector time just about now, and Van Dorn is currently
He's
100th
10th,
behind.
100th behind, yeah.
Oh, I actually get the second time.
I think he took that corner quite slowly.
Mortara certainly took it quite fast. He's just done a purple sector.
He's now slightly
1 and
ahead.
2.
He's slightly ahead on top sector times.
100ths between Van Dorn and Mortara. And it's
Mortara really up now.
Mortara about to cross the line, and he does a 101.741. Van Dorn may be catching, but can he catch up? I don't think he can.
Van Dorn is giving it all he can now.
Not a good day for Penske's. This is for pole position.
Mortara now increasing again.
Little bit of a wiggle there.
There we go.
Van Dorn
Mahindra
only does a 102.008, meaning he comes second, and meaning pole goes to Mortara for the first time.
And look at the difference. It's what we were saying earlier. The concentration's gone. The smiles, the things. Mahindra back smiling.
Yeah, first time that Mortara gets a pole for Mahindra in a very long while. Here he's on the radio.
I think you can put on.
I think he's happy.
Yeah, he sounds happy. So
that is Mahindra's first points in a very long while. I think all of the season, actually. They've come in with a car that is not competitive. The battery doesn't work. They're so down on power. And what Mortara has just done is a miracle. We had it here a couple of seasons ago when we had Abt Cooper on pole position with Robin Friends in wet conditions in a bad car. That is the equivalent. Berlin is the great equaliser. Mahindra, first pole in a very long time. First pole in the new regime ever since Dilbag Gill left a couple of years ago.
question, is it the equivalent of a Haas getting pole?
Yes. Okay. No, this is actually the equivalent of Alpine getting pole at the moment. That's how bad Mahindra have been at the moment.
Improved in recent races, though.
So have Mahindra. They've both improved so much, and this is the equivalent of Alpine getting a pole position. Maybe a Haas. It's that type of level, but it's very, very, very good news for Formula E. This.
Haas have been getting.
Yeah, obviously, the competition between the two Alpine drivers is a benefit to the team that's actually doing badly.
Radio missed.
Because they're always testing each other. Brilliant race from them last time. Mortara.
Right, so is that the end? Mortara is on pole. Van Dorn is second, and I cursed Vern so that he did not win. And the Penske still have remained away from each other when it comes to the finals. This neckline looks weird. So, shall I sign off? Not yet. Why not yet?
You can see that Eduardo Mortara just still. I don't think he can quite believe what he's achieved.
Megan's made me take over.
Armarinda back, Josh.
What, sorry?
Armarinda back.
Mahindra back, yes. I just realised. Let's hear from him now.
That's better for Eduardo.
It has been a torrid season to date, but wow, pole position here in Tempelhof, your third one at this location. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And the first one with Mahindra. As you said, like it's been a tough first part of the season, but with the guys we worked very hard. We had a few hiccups, especially in the last race weekend, and these goes for them. They had to rebuild an entire chassis after Monaco's shunt, and yeah, glad I could bring that, for the team.
What would it mean for you and the team to finally put some points on the board this weekend?
So we got our first points because of the pole position, and so that's the first goal done. We will see. Obviously, it's the best place to start, and I'm expecting a difficult race because it's going to be probably slipstream will play quite a big role. Hopefully, we can achieve a good result.
What do you think the key to your improvement has been?
Slowly and steady progress, and the team has done a fantastic job with understanding what the issues were in the first part of the season, and we were bringing slowly but surely, some development in terms of software,
glad that actually everything worked out.
Absolutely. Well, what a start. Good luck for the race. I'd now like to introduce Patrick Prince, the market head of Germany and Austria at Julius Baer, to present you with your pole position trophy. What a moment for Edo Mortara and Mahindra here in Tempelhof.
Julius Baer actually presenting the Julius Baer pole position trophy. Here's your starting grid then for the 40 laps that we'll have later on here at Berlin. Eduardo Mortara on pole from Stoffel Vandoorne second. Jean-Eric Vergne is third, with fourth for Sergio Sitticamara, fifth for Max Gunther, sixth for Pascal Wehrlein, seventh for Lucas de Grassi, eighth for Antonio Felix da Costa, ninth for Nick Cassidy, and 10th for Mitch Evans. Bad luck for the two Jaguars there, not even getting through to the duels. Further down, Kelvin van der Linde ahead then on 11th place on his debut. Dan Ticktum, followed by Taylor Barnard, Jordan King, Ollie Rowland, Sasha Fenestraz, Jake Hughes, Joel Eriksson, Paul Aron, Jake Dennis, Norman Nato. Bad stuff from Dennis there. And Jaruvula down 22nd position as well. Not exactly the greatest one we want to see. Okay, we will be back in action for the race on YouTube. That's at 1:30. Myself and Ed Hunter will be in the commentary box ready for that one. Let's hear quickly, though, from Stoffel Vandoorne.
Front row, a great way to be.
Yeah, definitely. You know, just a shame to miss out on 3 points for pole position. We've been in the final so many times already this year, and never managed to conclude that. But yeah, it shows just the progress we've made. We seem to be qualifying very well with both cars, which is a huge positive. And here today we can race from second. You know, it's going to be a dynamic race, and I feel quite confident about it.
Can you give us much of an insight into what the strategy is going to be? You know, can you and Jean-Eric Vergne work together in this race?
I mean, we worked a bit in Monaco. I think around here it's a little bit harder just because of the nature of the circuit. But yeah, let's see what we can do. We're going to try our best, and hopefully we can finish it on the podium as well.
Thanks very much, Stoffel Vandoorne.
It's going to be a very interesting session later on as well to see who's going to have the 2 Delta points and who's going to be closest on the circuit as well. So it's just getting it right there on the monitor. Not a bad time then at all. Quite an interesting run around out here in Berlin at Tempelhof. We'll be back later on then for the action. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.